Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and being a man of my word, today we are going to take a look at this Power Mac G5, which I picked up on Facebook Marketplace, and you may have seen the video where I traveled all the way to Ithaca, New York to pick up this machine. So, why is this so special? Okay, you may have guessed this. At least people who are aficionados of the G5s and know their machines. That is a 2.5 gigahertz, 2 CPU dual core, making a total of 4 cores. This is the Power Mac G5 Quad. It's the last PowerPC machine that Apple released prior to the Intel conversion taking place. It is far and away the most powerful PowerPC machine ever released by anybody anywhere. And I have one. But as the old 1980s television hucksters would say, but wait, there's more. It was a very detailed advertisement on Facebook Marketplace. They have a very good listing with a lot of screenshots, which is how I know it is a quad. I have no reason to suspect that it's anything other than that. But it also came with wireless Bluetooth keyboard. Might as well show this off too. It's basically the white Apple Pro mouse, but this is the Bluetooth version. So, these are what would have come along with that computer. Still there. There was one aspect of the listing that was not entirely accurate. We will cover that. Might as well cover it now. Now, once I've turned this, the picture here isn't doing it justice. That's an Apple Cinema display. It's the version of the Apple Cinema display that was released in 2004 and was the current Apple Cinema display at the time of the Power Mac being released in 2005. The listing indicated a 23-inch Apple Cinema display. So I thought, okay, this is cool. It's coming with all of the stuff, and probably all the stuff that originally came with. Like I say, this picture is not doing it justice. That thing is enormous. That's not 23 inches. That's a 30-inch display. Unbelievable. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get this camera back and adjusted the way it should be. Close enough. Not only did it have all of that, we've seen this sort of thing designed by Apple in California. In this booklet, which would have come with the machine, we have Welcome to Tiger, the introduction to the operating system. And this machine would have shipped with Tiger. Leopard was released in 2007. So Tiger was, it was a new operating system at that point. It would have shipped with it. The Power Mac G5 User's Guide. Now, I've never had a print copy of this. I've read it in a PDF that somebody kindly put up online. But the actual copy, it's got to be what came with this machine. See your disk. Oh, the Apple stickers, of course. Apple software coupons. Hey, I can get iLife 06. Of course, I already have that. And macOS 10.4, which is kind of useless, seeing as how we have Power Mac G5 install disks. This is to install 10.4. Okay, disc 2. This seems very thick. Okay, there's two discs in here. Oh, okay. OS 9. Of course, Tiger, of course, was the last version of OS 10 which would run OS 9 applications under Classic. So we have that. And Airport Express and iTunes. I mean, not necessary by any means, but the fact that all of this stuff came with this machine, that's just so cool. And we have, again, a folder designed by Apple in California. We've got some markings on it here. That may clean up. Doesn't matter. The Apple Cinema Display User Guide. Apple Computer Software License Agreement. The 1-year limited warranty, which of course has expired. Documentation for wireless keyboard and mouse, and the seller very kindly provided the username password. Now, what she said, she did tell me that this was her father's computer that he used for quite some time. It's no longer used, and they have modern computers that they do use, which is why she was selling it. I did ask her if he was the original owner. Evidently not. She asked him, and God bless him, he's still with us. Yeah, that's wonderful. Evidently, he picked it up not long after the original buyer had picked it up, and I hope got a very nice discount on it. Yeah, and that doesn't really surprise me that much because, of course, Mac buyers at the time, and I was at that point in there. There was a quandary going on. Am I going to spend money on a PowerPC Mac now, knowing that Intel is coming and all of these computers will be out of date? We're seeing that today. Do you buy an Intel Mac now, knowing that Apple Silicon is coming and all of the Intels will be out of date? So, yeah, I can speculate that the original buyer got buyer's remorse. Maybe when the 2006 Mac Pro came out, the first of the Mac Pros. Who knows, really? But hey, I have it now, so it's going to get a lot of use, and I am honored to have it. Okay, well, now enough of this. We need to take a closer look at this machine, so please stay tuned. Looked at from the front, this could be any Power Mac G5. You know, it's the power button, the headphone jack, USB port, FireWire 400 port, the single optical drive, which is how we know that this is not a Mac Pro, of course, at a glance. Now, you see some discoloration down here on the foot. That is going to clean up very, very easily. How it got there, I don't know. However, I know I'll be able to clean it up because there was a similar, almost identical kind of series of splotches on the foot of the 30-inch cinema display, which I did already cleaned up fine. I've got some sticker residue here. I can feel how sticky that is. That'll come up very easily. as we get more sticker residue here. No problem. That will clean. I mean, there's no dents anywhere. I'm not used to that. I'm used to a little something in there. Little dings and scratches here and there, but by and large, in incredible condition. 15-year-old computer. All right. Inside here, there would be 3 PCIe slots, obviously nothing in them. Graphics card. Since there's a slot cover here, this has got to be a single slot graphics card. We'll find out what. The latch, of course. Vents for the fans. We've got here the Wi-Fi Bluetooth antenna. Here we've got the 2 gigabit Ethernet, Firewire 800, Firewire 400. Digital audio out and in. Audio out, audio in, and 3 USB 2. And that bizarre little power connector in there. This machine, by the way, did come with the original cord. My other late 2005 came with an aftermarket cord. Works fine. It's black though. Apple always with these sent them out with white cord. So I got the original cord for this. All right. Yeah, some little marks on the back of it. I won't go into great detail. It is a 15-year-old computer, but obviously been used, so there's some marks in there, but really, really, really well maintained. Okay. Taking the door off. Taking the baffle off. All right. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know why they did that. They've got an adhesive holding the top of the IDE cable down there, which is kind of a pain. You can get it off, but if I'm going to upgrade that, a lot of room here. Of course, it's a fairly small cord there. All right, no more like all that we've seen in the other machine. Drive bays. There's a spinning hard drive here in the top bay. There is nothing in the bottom bay. Yep, there's the stock graphics card. It's a GeForce 6600. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. You probably can't see all that well. But right up at the top there is the 6-pin power. So if we upgrade the graphics card, which we probably will, that is there. Okay, now trying to get the fan out with one hand. Okay, we can see the RAM slots. There are 4 sticks of RAM in there and 2 empty slots. That's put in there correctly, so that should read fine. Now, yeah, there are fans, of course, but this is a liquid cooled. Now, I have in the past spoken with negativity about the liquid cooled Macs. They're traditionally huge problems. Largely because, notice I'm very carefully saying liquid cooled, not water cooled. In those coolers, that's not water running through it. It's basically radiator fluid, antifreeze, if you will. Now, we all know, at least anybody who's owned a car, at least of a certain age, will know how caustic antifreeze can be. You've got that running through there. The first couple of tries, very prone to leakage. If it leaks, the power supply brilliantly is down here instead of up here as they did with the later Mac. But you know, it's funny because up in this area here is where the power supply would be on all of the Power Mac G4s and on the G3 blue and whites for that matter. Why they put it down here and then set a leaky liquid cooler on top of it. However, by the time they released the G5, this is the last PowerPC and most powerful PowerPC machine that Apple ever released, of course. They had solved that. So there's almost no reporting of G5 quads being problematic in terms of leaking. It can happen, but very unlikely. So I felt very confident in getting this. Okay, well, I suppose the next thing is going to be getting it all set up and booting it up. And I'm going to have to set up that 30-inch cinema display too, so this will take a while. But you don't have to worry about that, do you? Because I'm going to do it off camera. All right, please stay tuned. We're going to take a different take today on the first boot of a machine. I have never owned a liquid-cooled Power Mac. The other two that I own are air-cooled. I understand this may be a different kind of sound, so I brought the phone down here very close to try to hear that. You hear that hum? That's got to be that cooler kicking in. And there's motorcycles in the background, sorry. Sounds like a jet engine warming up. Not that loud. Okay, now it's booting up, and as soon as it boots up, it becomes much quieter. All right. Well, I'm going to do this handheld a little bit. Just so I can bring you in real close. 4 by 2.5 gigahertz PowerPC G5. Isn't that amazing? Now, the operating systems, either Tiger or Leopard for that matter. This is clearly Tiger. You can tell that just by the icons. All right, same thing. Yeah, these operating systems can't distinguish between individual CPUs and multiple core CPUs. So it's identifying it as though there were 4 CPUs there. Graphics displays. NVIDIA GeForce 6600. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. It's a decent card. It really is. We can do better. Disk burning. You see a Apple chip supported. Yeah, it's just whatever comes with it. Bluetooth. So there's Bluetooth. There would almost have to be because of the wireless keyboard and mouse. Which, by the way, I don't at this point have connected. Serial ATA. Western Digital. 250 gig drive. Okay. Probably what initially came with it. I think that's about right. Okay, then. No airport. Okay, It's a weird way of doing this, but looking at displays. Yeah, 2560 by 1600. Whoa, quite a display, I gotta tell you. All right, I'll tell you what, before going any further here, I've got to put the camera on a tripod. I'll be interested in hearing back and seeing how much you were able to hear of, you know, that cooler. And it's dead quiet now. Oh well, stay tuned. Take advantage of that brief interim there to take a bit of a look. The seller had indicated to me that while she did not set up the machine as though it were a new machine, in other words, wiping the drive and reinstalling the OS, she did go through and delete any possibly sensitive private documents, or really any documents, and she was a woman of her word. I went through it, and yeah, there are no pictures on there. There's no movies, no text documents. There are several email clients on the machine, all of which are blank, thank heaven. So, I mean, the iCal has no entries in it. So, yeah, fundamentally, the one interesting thing we can look at here, I think, be the applications. Tell you, I wish I had the technology to give a better representation on video of just what this display looks like. It's astonishing. For this goes back to 2004. My other Apple Cinema display, the 23-inch, that previously was in this position, is a 2002 and was intended to be matching to the PowerMac G4s. PowerMac G4s came out, G5s first came out in 2003, and in 2004 they released this type of aluminum monitor, basically to match that, and it's amazing. It really is. Okay, anyway, the majority of what's in here, I took a brief look through here too. Art Director's Toolkit. Now, I don't know if the seller's father was an artist of some kind and made use of that, but there that is. Bare Access. I have absolutely no idea what that is. I do notice that within this, we do have Eudora, the email client. There is Fetch, which is an FTP client. There you go. So there's a Firefox. I'm pointing out the things that are not just stock with any installation of Tiger. Flight gear. Now that's kind of interesting to me. We open up flight gear, and again, there's nothing saved in here, but you see here, start flight, quit, and we could go down here to the user's guide. It would take us to a web page that indicates what this is. It's a flight simulator. I think that's kind of a cool thing. So the flight simulator on this. It's certainly not any part of Mac OS. All right. And GarageBand, so iLife was installed on here. I don't see any indication of iWorks being on here, although there is a test of MS Office. Where did that get off to? Oh, no, iWork 06 is in fact on here. Yeah. Keynote and Pages, it's an early one. At that point, there was no spreadsheet in ours. But yeah, 06 would be about right if we're anticipating that that's about when The seller's father acquired this computer and began using it. All right. Norton antivirus. Office 2004 for Mac test drive. Uh, Now, that may actually have been fully installed. I believe that's just a trial version and probably taken off, I would expect, and left on whatever. QuickBooks. Canadian users. Top paid Canada. Well, I mean, maybe. I have no idea. It could have been a family that came from Canada. I really don't know. That's pure and total aimless speculation. All right, Stuff It 10.0 was put on Symantec. That's the Norton, of course. Thunderbird, the email client. But again, it's if you open up any of the email clients or anything like that, uh, there's nothing there. You just get the dialogues and wizards to set them up. Zinio is something I had never heard of. I did take a quick look at it. Zinio Delivery Manager, Zinio Reader. It appears to be a magazine application where you can download digital copies of your favorite magazines and read them on the computer. Rather a foreshadowing of what most people do today. I'm always a little surprised if I get out and see somebody reading an actual printed newspaper. I mean, I read two newspapers every day: the Record Journal, local paper here, and the Las Vegas Review Journal. But digital subscriptions. All right. Okay. So interesting. Clearly, this computer was used. It was loved. It's come to a good home, I like to think. So time to maybe give some thought to what we're going to do with this. I mean, it's a worthy computer just like it is, to be sure. But obviously, me being me, we're not going to leave it just like it is. I think what I'm going to do here, taking the easy route out to get most of it done, I have already ordered something to go on this, but I think, having just done that whole series of upgrades on the 2.3 dual core CPU G5, basically I'm going to take stuff out of that and put it into this. Now, I'm not going to just leave that computer completely hanging. I will eventually, over the course of time, add back to that. But, I want to get this quad up and running as quickly as possible. And that's the best route. Take the graphics card out, take the RAM out, take the two PCIe cards, put all of those in, the drives, certainly, including that FireWire drive that I put in, the Plestor Blu-ray disc. That all should, let's make this one machine powerful. And for the time being, of course, I can just put the components that are in this machine back into that. Anyhow, that's what I'm thinking. We shall see what actually happens. So until that time, be good to other people. They deserve it. Be good to yourselves. You especially deserve it. Take very good and careful care in these very difficult times. We're going to be back with at least one other, probably more videos featuring this incredible machine, and a whole lot of others. So until that time, this has been Broken Electronics.